going to just read if you don't mind. My name is Anty Marche. Many of people calls me Anty Marche. I'm the program director for Unite the World with Africa Foundation. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself today, but mostly about the Unite Food Program, which is actually what brought us here. I was born in 1963 in a very small rural village, Kilimanjaro region in Tanzania, that's in East Africa. I'm the fifth among the 8 children, and my mother was only able to complete her 4th grade education because her father did not have enough money to pay for her school fees. So she stayed home taking care of siblings and doing some chores at home, and ended up getting married at 17 years when she met my father. Now, throughout my very early childhood, my siblings and I lived alone with my mother, who would walk long walk, over 10 miles every morning to my grandmother's farm. And sometimes he would walk carrying me and my young siblings on her back and spend the entire day at the farm there. And she would plant banana, maize, beans, sweet potatoes, sugarcane. Then in the evening, she would walk back home with whatever harvest she got that day. And that would be the food for us for dinner or breakfast in the following morning. And our father, who actually achieved just 8th grade education, again, due to family poverty, he lived in another village where he found work as a tailor. And for many years, he was only able to come home only once a month to see us. But when I was 7 years old, we moved to another town. It's called Arusha. Many of the people here have actually been there. They told me tonight. And my father opened a convenience store, but my mother, because he loved farming, he continued farming. And during my school vacation, I would work along with her at the farm. And after I completed my education, I enrolled in a mandatory national service that's required in Tanzania. I was there for 1 year. It's similar to the Army boot camp here in America. And then after that, I worked with organizations such as Oxfam, Catholic Relief Services, and USAID. Later, 1998, I came to the United States and was at the Northeastern University. I studied there information system management, and then I had a daughter who is just turned 18 this past January. And then I came here in Connecticut, Sacred Heart, and I earned my graduate certificate in cybersecurity. Until 2019, that's when I joined Unite the World with Africa Foundation. Now, let me talk a little bit about what Unite Food Program is. As the program director for Unite, I work many months of each year from Tanzania. In fact, actually, I just came back from Tanzania last week. And while I'm in the country with my teammates, oftentimes I travel with Anne and some board members here. Nicole, we just came back together. Nick, Tanya, and many others who have been to Tanzania. Thank you so much. I spend as much time as possible in the remote villages, visiting and working alongside our teammates, our scholars, farmers, and partners. And every time I'm there, I'm actually flooded with memories of my own childhood and teenager years when I was working along with my mother in our small farm. Also, I remember carrying whatever we harvested that day on our heads as we made our long walk back home. It's not an easy life, and oftentimes these families feel overwhelmed and forgotten. But for me, my favorite thing, really favorite, is when I meet these women and when I talk to them, because I understand. I remember my mother and I, we did the same thing. And I know how this family feel. Most of them, just like David said, they use the very old tools to cultivate. They call it the hand hoe. Also, they walk long walk in scorching, burning heat. Sometimes with a baby on the back, or having a risk leaving that baby under the tree where a snake or wild animal can snatch that baby any minute. I also know how hard it is walking miles and miles just to get to a tiny 1-acre farm, which most people is their only possessions. And I know how stressful, just like David says, the drought, when there is a drought, and when you have to rely 100% on the rain, and there's no any other water sources, there's no rain, or sometimes the rains are just insufficient, family end up with very little or nothing at all. And I know how these farmers, they work so hard, and most of the time they seek buyers for their precious crops, but too often they are taken advantage of by sneaky middlemen who tell them that they will take care of their crops on credit, and ultimately the farmers are either underpaid or never paid at all. So if you wonder who these small-scale farmers are, or feel perhaps